Hello, dear friends. In 1874, two British entrepreneurs, Thomas and Baylis, joined forces and began manufacturing Excelsior bicycles. This venture provided a steady income and allowed the partners to embark on a new adventure, the motorcycle. So, in 1896, their first motorcycle rolled out of the factory gates. It featured a design that was quite common at the time, with a purchased Belgian Minerva engine mounted on a bicycle frame. But during the war, British paratroopers received a rather amusing folding motorcycle from Excelsior, the Welbike. It was in service with the British Special Service. It weighed just 32 kilograms. The single-speed bike could reach speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour. It could travel up to 145 kilometers without refueling. The engine displacement was 98 cubic centimeters. The Welbike's simple design meant it was easy and quick to manufacture, and in 1942, it went into mass production for shipment to the airborne troops. By 1943, it was also widely used by ground assault troops, including commando units and the Royal Navy's Royal Marines, particularly for beach landings at Anzio and Normandy. The Welbike's small size meant it was also very useful as standard airfield transport for the Royal Air Force. There were three production versions of the Welbike. The first 1,200 were known as the Mark I and were essentially an improved version of the original prototype with tuned engines. However, they lacked a rear mudguard. A total of 1,400 Mark II Series I Welbikes were produced, featuring a number of minor modifications, including the addition of a rear mudguard. The final batch of 1,340 motorcycles was the Mark II Series II, featuring saddle fuel tanks with a splash guard between them and an improved fuel filler cap, as the original design required removing the fuel pump, which took too much time. However, in combat situations, the Welbike could prove problematic, as paratroopers needed to get to cover as quickly as possible and had to locate the Welbike containers before they could even begin assembling them. The weight difference between the paratrooper and the container meant that they often landed some distance apart, and some were captured by enemy forces or lost before they could even be used. Low power and small wheels also meant they struggled to cope adequately with the often rough roads of the battlefield, so they were frequently abandoned by soldiers, for whom it was easier to continue on foot. Another problem with the Welbike was that by the time it went into mass production, the trailers were already much larger. They were designed to carry larger and more powerful motorcycles, such as the Royal Enfield WD. Given the military's past complaints, these folding motorcycles had finally become obsolete. After the war, the military destroyed almost all remaining motorcycles, as they were considered unsafe for use on public roads in the UK because they were equipped with only a rear brake and had no headlight. That's all for today. If you liked the video, please support it with a like and subscribe to the channel. Bye for now. See you next time.